and welcome back. Today I have my April TBR and I am excited to announce that I will be participating in the O.W.L.s this year. The O.W.L.s are created by G. I will link her video down below. Pretty much the O.W.L.s are the exams that the students at O.W.L.s need to take during the year. Then they are followed by the NEWTs, which will happen later on in the year. But the O.W.L.s are gonna go through April. So I was super excited to do my TBR around the O.W.L.s because it fits so well with the prompt that I chose. So pretty much the idea is to choose a career path, and then you have to take some O.W.L.s, which requires some reading prompts created by G, and I will link the video down below where you can get all the information so you can choose your own career if you still haven't. She has been doing this for several years now, and last year the theme was Chamber of Secrets, and this year we're focusing on Prisoner of Azkaban. And as I mentioned before, Prisoner of Azkaban, it's one of my favorite books. It is my favorite movie from the series. Everything involving Prisoner of Azkaban, it's my favorite everything. So of course I'm super excited to join this year with O.W.L.s and the NEWT later on, but we will worry about that later on. So today I'm going to be sharing the books that I chose for my career. But first I should tell you that I chose Spellmaker as my career. I think last year I wanted to be a wand maker, and it is still one of the options, but I think I would have to read around 3 books. So I decided to challenge myself and be a spellmaker, which sounds so cool. Like, imagine getting to make new spells and everything. For this specific career, I would have to read 7 books. So there are 7 prompts for the O.W.L.s. Like I said, I am not gonna worry about the NEWTs because we're gonna worry about that when the time comes. So to make everything quicker, I have my prompts right here, and I'm gonna be reading them to you as I show you the book that I chose for that prompt. The first prompt is Ancient Ruins, and for that I have to read a heart that's on the cover of the book or the title of the book. And for that prompt I picked A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kimmer. I was supposed to read this book last month, but I didn't get to it, so I'm excited to carry this book on, and it fits perfectly for my prompt. It was like it was meant to be. The next prompt is arithmancy, so that is balance and opposites. Read something outside your favorite genre, and I love reading fantasy, and like I've told you guys many times, I've tried to read more contemporary. So for that I chose Well Met by Jen DeLuca. This book was also on my March TBR, but I didn't get a chance to get to it, so I am happy to carry this book over to this month, and it fits perfectly with my prompt. I didn't know if I wanted to read a contemporary book or a sci-fi book, since those are 2 of the genres that I typically don't read, but I decided to go with Well Met, which is contemporary, and I'm excited to read this book. The next prompt is astronomy, which means night classes, and this prompt requires to read the majority of the book when it's dark. You don't necessarily need to read the whole book when it's dark, but for this prompt I chose Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book on the Throne of Glass series, and I am excited to continue with the story. Like I've mentioned before, I have fallen in love with this story once again. I haven't read this book specifically. I just read the first one and the second one when they started coming out, and never finished the series, but now I'm so hooked on it, loving every character and how the story is developing. So I'm really excited to get to this book. I've heard so many good things about it, and I've heard that it's one of the favorites for many, so I am hoping that I fall in love with it as many of you guys have. So I am super excited to get to this book. The next prompt is Charms, and it has one of my favorites, which is Lumos Maxima. It's one of my favorite spells from the book, from the 3rd book, and from the movie and everything else. I love this spell so much, and the prompt is to read a book with a white cover. And like I said before, all these prompts are fitting perfectly to the books that I wanted to read this month anyways. So for that prompt, I chose A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. Last month, I reread A Darker Shade of Magic, so I am so excited to get to this book because the ending of that book just kept me hooked. I actually just finished it yesterday and I wanted to pick it up today, so I think that's what's gonna happen. So I'm super excited to continue with the series and finally finish it, because this is another one of my many unfinished series. So I'm super excited to continue with. The next prompt is divinations, and for this it's the third eye, which I don't have. But for this prompt, pretty much is assign numbers to your TBR and use a random number generator to pick your read. You can do this in Google. That's what I did. I chose many books from my TBR and the generator picked number 1. So for that prompt, I'm gonna be reading An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I picked this one up, I want to say last year when her second book came out. So instead of getting the second book, which they're not related, I don't think they're a series or anything, I picked this one up instead of the new one, which I don't know why, but I have it and it was number 1 on my generator. I tried to choose smaller books for this prompt because I have big books to read this month, so I wanted something a bit smaller, which this fits perfectly, so I should be able to get through it, and I'm happy to shrink my TBR as much as I can. The next prompt is History of Magic, and for this specific prompt we have Witch Hunt, which requires a book that features witches or wizards. So what better prompt than any other but Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I don't know how many times this book has appeared on my TBR, but it has. And I'm talking about the illustrated edition. I have read this series many times, so I've been wanting to go through the illustrated editions, and this book just seems to not make the cut every month, and I don't know why I'm holding back so bad. But this month is the month that I'm gonna be reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the illustrated edition, because it is time for me to go through this whole book. I always start it and I never finish it, but this month everything's gonna change and it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna make it happen because I'm so excited and so pumped for it. And the last prompt we have, it's Transfiguration. So for this prompt we have the Animagus Lecture, which is a book or series that includes shapeshifters, and for that I could not pass on the opportunity to read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yes, this book had to be included in this whole thing. My favorite book, my favorite movie of the series, everything involving Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Please give it to me. I'm excited to get to the illustrated edition, as I will be reading the Chamber of Secrets first, and then I'm gonna pick up Prisoner of Azkaban. It's gonna happen this month. I'm gonna make sure it happens this month. I still don't have the 4th one, so I'm hoping to get it later on after I go through these. I'm just gonna keep this one right here because I love him. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my TBR, and maybe you guys have read all these books, but I'm excited to finally get to them. And I hope you guys also join the O.W.L.s this year because it's gonna be super fun. And like I said, G's video is gonna be linked down below if you guys are interested and want to check out the prompt. If for some reason you guys haven't heard of this, it's gonna be more than just reading. She's very involved in the magic community during this time, so if you guys are also hoping to be more involved on this project, please check out her video where she has a lot of the information that I didn't provide for you guys. But yeah, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.